reason about the number of executive orders that I've signed. I'm not making new law. I'm eliminating bad policy. What I'm doing is taking on the issues that 99% of them, that the last president of the United States, issued executive orders I thought were very counterproductive to our security, counterproductive to who we are as a country, particularly in the area of immigration. This is about how America is safer, stronger, more prosperous when we have a fair, orderly, and humane legal immigration system. And with the first action today, we're going to work to undo the moral and national shame of the previous administration that literally, not figuratively, ripped children from the arms of their families, their mothers and fathers at the border, and with no plan, none whatsoever, to reunify the children who are still in custody and their parents.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Wednesday, and it is time for Pop and Politics. I know I look funny because, I'm not KJ.
You could never be.
but look, we're talking about the latest and hot topics, news and entertainment. I'm Giovanni. Let me get to it. All right. I'm filling in for KJ. She had a little incident where she was scuba diving. No, I'm joking. She's a little under weather. She's a little under the weather. But yeah, so I'm joined by the ladies today. They're all wearing red. Look at them. Like, yeah, there we go. Give me that wide shot.
Day.
Absolutely.
Love month.
It's the month of love. All right. Yeah, sure. What you got to drink?
We have what's called the Love Bloom it was a recipe by The Palm, and our in-house bartender kind
There
of
we go.
mixed it for us and everything.
Party
Had the
girl.
ingredients. So we're trying this out for the first night.
Right on. All right, so you can join the conversation by leaving a comment on YouTube or Twitter. We will check the comments periodically throughout the show, and don't just comment, subscribe. Subscribe to our social media so you always know when we post new content. If you miss us on YouTube, listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify under Pop and Politics. We are also on Rumble. And if you like independent media and want to support what we do, definitely donate. You can go to our website, popandpoliticslive.com. You can also visit our store on there. We got some great T-shirts, some MAGA T-shirts, Be Aware and Prepare T-shirts. I'm waiting for these ladies to wear the T-shirts. There we go. But we are a necessary voice in news and entertainment. So we started the show. We started with a clip of President Biden when he first got into office, really reversing everything President Trump did to protect our border. Now Biden says he needs Congress to put forward this bill to protect the border, and he's blaming Republicans for the immigration crisis. Now, is this the case? And if not, are Americans believing the narrative? Let's Shelly, what's going on here?
The narrative about the border with
Yeah.
Biden, no, Americans are not believing it. And the story is unraveling. The curtain is coming back. The emperor is ass out, first of all, right? They're not believing it. Americans are waking up, thankfully. We have a country to save.
Absolutely. Now, Crystal, you saw the clip there. I mean, that was President Biden had the mask on, representing.
I love the age of video because y'all remember, I grew up in the 90s and, the 90s music, and R. Kelly had a song called Switcheroo. That is exactly what they're doing. Tonight I'm gonna pull a switch. Because now they're forgetting that we have... But they are forgetting that we have you on video, and now the whole news and media, they're saying, oh no, Trump, this is Trump's border, and we never did this, and we don't use an executive order for this.
Bull crap.
That is bull crap, and I'm so glad it's on tape.
Now, what are your thoughts here, Yana? So, I mean, he's essentially, he reversed everything Trump did, right? And now, I guess, now we have a crisis.
Yeah, we have a major crisis. I mean, we just saw there was a terrorist from was it Tajikistan that is crossing the. He literally is saying that you're gonna know about me. Once I cross into the border, you're going to know. Like, I'm really concerned. This is not a joke.
This is national security.
Yes.
And now they're trying to pass some sort of bill that is not actually going to protect the border. It's really a lie that is going to it's more bureaucracy that they're introducing through that bill. It's not really stopping the flow of immigrants.
Absolutely. Now I want to go to you, T, real quick. We were recently at the Red Renaissance event, and we actually got to interview like a lot of people there, like candidates, a lot of people that are running for office, just concerned citizens. And immigration was like the number one thing. Like, what are you hearing? Like, how is this affecting like the community? Like, how are people responding to this?
I mean, it should be a concern. And I think people are concerned. I remember when he signed those executive orders on the day, and I knew then it would be an issue. And so, and I also know people who have crossed the border that live in Wisconsin right now. They paid this person in particular paid $90,000 from El Salvador to cross the border. They live in Wisconsin, have a stable lifestyle because the government gave them money.
How much did they pay?
They paid $90,000
to be carried over.
And by the way, they said that they saw dead bodies on the way, like she gave me the whole journey. Saw dead bodies on the way, people were, and the things that we hear are true. People have been raped, their children that don't eat. Luckily she had, a backpack. They were prepared, but $90,000 American dollars from El Salvador.
Wow.
I know a person who actually hasn't paid much at all. They just flew here from Eastern Europe, flew to Mexico, and then crossed the border, and then in Chicago somewhere. Like, it took just a week or so.
Right.
The point of the matter is they're actually taking advantage of this. They know that the borders are open and they're taking advantage, and they're not going anywhere.
Right. We all have heard the phrase, the doors to the church are open.
Yeah.
The illegal aliens is what I'm going to call them. The doors of America are wide open, and everything not coming out, everything that can come in is coming in. We are literally under attack. I think we are being invaded from within and from without. These people are coming across our borders. Our border control really has no control over there and over the border. And our president, I think he's the president. I think he was elected. Whatever. But our president is literally out to lunch or out on a nap. I'm going to keep saying this. We have a country to save because we are being invaded from within.
Yeah, and then, think about it. Like, the whole TikTok, map was released, like, where in China they are giving people instructions and directions.
All right, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because let's go into the bill first, and we're going to go into China in just a little bit, right?
Sorry, yeah.
So let's talk about the bill, right? Senator James Lankford, a Republican from Oklahoma, and Mitch McConnell's other lieutenant in the Senate. The bill would allow the Biden administration to reap the benefits of its own crime, essentially violating current law and bringing in millions of illegal aliens. The bill would essentially allow up to 5,000 illegal aliens per day to enter the country. It explicitly grants the Homeland Security Secretary authorization to provide them with work permits. In fact, page 41 of the bill stipulates that if the alien receives a positive protection determination, the alien shall be issued employment authorization. So, we're seeing Republicans do this. So why are Republicans going along with this?
Well, okay. So you know how I say regularly that both sides are to blame, both sides have some culpability. Back in 1986, I think it was, when Ronald Reagan signed the amnesty bill. We also have bills that were signed by John McCain and I think Senator Kennedy, may he rest in peace, in his watery grave like he did with that lady. But nevertheless, this is nothing new. Our Congress is culpable. They are literally giving away our country. This bill up to $5,000 a day, that's like pieces of cake. Because guess what? In December, we had over 300,000 people, the most in 1 month, I think, to record, at least in modern times. So our senators, our congressmen are literally signing away the whole damn docket and giving our country away. Our Congress needs to be held to account. Talking about impeaching Mayorkas, I say impeach the damn Congress.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree.
T, are these Republicans representing you, your interests, American interests?
Hell nah. They're not representing us. And that's the problem, because they're sitting in their little seats, getting along with the get along, and they're not standing up for their constituents. And they're not standing up for the Republicans who are screaming at them. And they're letting the Democrats do whatever they want. I mean, the borders are as open as a prostitute's coochie at 3 o'clock. Okay. So it's open. Open.
Wow.
At 3 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
I mean, it's
Well, at least she's getting paid
it's a
for it.
uni-party. I mean, it seems to me that these people are not representing us, the Republicans, for sure. It's more like some sort of deep state uni-party that they have their own agenda that most people don't even understand what they're trying to do. I mean, they're trying to destroy and disassemble this country, transform it into something else. And the fact that Biden said something in that speech that this is about morality. I mean, morality is to protect your country.
Yeah.
Like any good leader his moral duty is to protect the country that they or the people entrusted him to protect, not to let whoever wants to come in. That's immoral.
Yeah, and I just want to make it very clear, like, we don't have a problem with immigration or migration to this country. I mean, we're
Not
grateful
legally.
for it. Exactly, we're grateful for it. However, just like it be my house, I have a right to decide who comes in and who doesn't. And so for me, like, the audacity of these people, there's got to be a certain kind of person that walks across a person's I mean, like, Shelly, you won't just walk across to Canada. Why?
No, they gonna stop my ass.
It's illegal. Like, yeah, so it's a certain, you guys, you got to understand. It is a certain type of person that is literally saying, I don't care. I'm going to walk across.
No.
I don't blame. Walk across Mexico. No, just stop.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Who would do
But
that?
we can't
Actually,
even
no,
get
no. I would say that it's not about the person. It's what is allowed. Whatever is allowed is going to happen.
I don't blame
No,
the person.
No.
Because certain stuff, if it's illegal, even if it's allowed,
not
you
illegal.
got to have some kind of kahunas.
No, I don't blame those people wanting
blame
better
them.
for themselves. I don't blame that. But Gianna is correct. What is allowed? We cannot walk across the Canadian border or the Mexican border without being stopped and hemmed up. You can't do it. You have to have all kinds of legal documents or ID. You cannot do it. What's allowed in America right now is, I'm going to call this legal, if you will, legal invasion, legal terrorism. Our country is being destroyed. And guess what? It's at the hands of the leaders that we have elected. They don't give a damn about the country. They want it to be something different other than the United States.
But why? Let me ask this, and you guys can go around. But why are they doing this? Like, what does it benefit the Republican Party? What does it benefit Republicans? What does it benefit Americans? Like, why are they doing this?
Republicans are insecure. And I'm noticing this, just you guys, as a new Republican, like, for some reason, when we hear bipartisan, it's always the Democrats win. Like, we need to, like, when we hear the word bipartisan, we need to stop immediately, because they always take more than what is allowed. We always get the end of the
Short end
stick.
of the
Yeah,
stick.
the short end of the stick.
That's not a cuss word.
end of the
Short is
dick.
not a cuss word.
Short is not a
Yeah. End of the dick.
Yeah, and
you get fucked.
yeah,
Excuse my French. We get fucked and it
exactly.
doesn't feel good.
Yeah, and I don't know why we have just almost gotten comfortable with being underclassmen when it comes to this, even when we have the majority. And that's why President Trump is so startling to them, because he doesn't allow that.
Right. The Republicans, Giovanni, the Republicans are largely cowards.
Insecure.
They have no courage. They are afraid of being labeled and called all kinds of racists and bigots, and which is a twisted narrative if you know the party of the history of the Democrat Party anyway. But the Republicans are cowards, and the Democrats are evil and tyrannical. They want something other than the United States of America.
We gotta realize that these are the people that we put in position. We vote for these people.
So why would they, I guess, support something like this? That's
Because they're selfish. And it's all about what they can get out of it, because it's still politics.
so. What do they get out of it?
It's still politics.
What do they get out of it then?
Well, historically,
Deceit.
Historically, I guess I would say the research, the data shows that Republicans tend to benefit from the free labor, right? Historically, I don't know if that's necessarily true to that extent now. And the Democrats, of course, get social programs that they can feed these people. These illegal aliens is what they are. They're not migrants. You and I, as American citizens, can be migrants if we move from Maryland to Texas or to Texas to Wisconsin. That's what you call a migrant. These are illegal aliens. I'm going to call them terrorists nevertheless. But nevertheless, the Democrats do get the social programs and they get more votes. It never, to
We're talking about Republicans,
To
though.
Crystal's point, it never works in the favor of Republicans.
He's asking, what do Republicans get out of it?
They get the labor, the lower cost of labor.
So you
Because
get
they're
they
more
work on their
business.
farm.
Say that again.
So they get to work on the farm.
Yeah.
So I don't buy that.
Historically, at least historically.
Yeah, I honestly, I think Republicans, unfortunately, fall into this like guilt. We're good people. Like you said, like, oh, well, we don't hate migrants. And it's like we fall for this manipulation, like, oh, you're racist, you're mean. Oh, okay, well, then I'll allow this just to be like, I guess just to be,
To look nice.
or look cooperative,
Compassionate.
or cooperative, or
moderate.
that.
So I'm thinking that
Yes.
they want to appear maybe moderate to some of their constituents. Like we had some Republican people on this show sometimes, and they would say something like, "Well, I'm pro-choice." You know, there's those Republicans, and so they want to appear moderate. Maybe they're hoping to get the moderate votes. I mean, maybe they're
And
trying
it never
to
works
pull
in their favor.
Maybe they're trying to pull in, I don't know, the libertarians towards them in some
No, libertarians are starkly against open borders.
Well, look,
These
I'm
are the-
gonna say that like there's some verse in the Bible talking about the lukewarm, right? It just be spit out. So I can't quote it exactly right now, but the lukewarm is nasty.
would you be? No, yeah, he literally
That's
said,
what I'm saying.
would you be hot or cold?
Absolutely.
These
Absolutely.
are the signs of the times, though, now, because people aren't standing on business, as they say. The Republicans aren't standing on business. Democrats, they're just doing whatever they want to do in your face and will dare you to say anything.
But it's not even helping them. That's what I'm saying. Like I think Tucker Carlson actually said like it's a special kind of evil because this is not helping anybody. It's not helping Democrats. It's not helping Republicans in any way, like shape or form. And yet and still like they're continuing to do it, and you're almost like that's evil.
I do want to add one thing, how it is helping them. It helps them to maintain power because ultimately that's what they want.
Yeah.
They want power and control over your life, my life, to the nth degree. So that's what the ultimate goal is.
It's democracy,
maintaining power.
right?
Yeah. So let's move on because there's a little bit more I want to go into. Just talking about just the data behind this, right? So there's Chinese immigrants are now the fastest growing number of illegal nationals breaking into the United States. So they fly to Latin American countries that allow for easier entrance by Chinese nationals such as Mexico and Ecuador, and they meet up with the snakeheads in Mexico and pay them about $400 to get driven to the American southern border. And finally, they get dropped off at one of the several breach locations and cross through by the dozens. So we're seeing, an infiltration, it seems strategically by other countries. Isn't this a national security risk? Like when we go back to the benefit, how does it benefit Republicans? How does it benefit Democrats if we're putting our entire country at risk? So
Giovanni, absolutely is a national security risk, but they don't give a damn about the average Americans. Remember, these are the globalists, these people who want to be in power and control. They have their Boeing 747s or their fast-track planes to Davos where they hobnob with each other. They, the Bill Gates and all the people over there in Switzerland and whatever, then Klaus Schwab, whatever, whatever his damn name is. Make me want to spit. But anyway, these people, they network, they interconnect, if you will, these intersectionality, these buzzwords. They have their own protection. They have armed security, but they want to unarm our asses. These people are, would you say, a special kind of evil? Yeah, they are. I would say they are. They do border on that special kind of evil. They don't give a damn about the United States of America. And this is why it's important for average, regular folk, regular Americans to rise up, get your guns. Annie, get your guns. Bobby, get your guns and protect our house.
There we go. So, Yana, real quick, you immigrated here, right? And you're a big advocate for Marxism. But how does that, kind of represent like the Marxist belief, just open borders? Like, how does that, kind of play into here? Like, is there an infiltration?
Shelley mentioned something that I was going to say about globalism. So what I'm seeing when you mentioned the Republicans, Democrats, I'm convinced that those people who are pro-open borders, they're not pro this country. They're pro-globalism. Yeah. And so they want to actually destroy what the country is about. And those people who are patriotic, nationalistic in the good sense in America, they want to get rid of them or dilute this country to the point that the people who are patriotic do not have a voice anymore. Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking might be the reason, is that they want to this country to be infiltrated as much as possible, and then we, as patriotic Americans, we won't have a voice. Right.
So who's coming to save us?
We have to save ourselves. We have a country to save.
Yeah.
Americans, again, take up your arms, protect your homes, your house. And I'm not talking about just firearms, which I am, really. But that's just one aspect. But we need to be equipped. Bianna, based on what you just said, I have a new saying I'm going to start using. Globalism is DEI on steroids.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think at this point, and I've said this before, that there's anything that we can do. I mean, I think the stats are 18 million suspected have been here. I God bless President Trump. If he wins, he said we are going to enact the most aggressive deportation of all the immigrants, and that is my hope and my prayer. But I do believe that we're kind of stuck in this situation. I guess what I would like to see at this point is that we get a hold of who's here. And I know in Virginia, they implemented some kind of law where they could stop you and check your immigration status. And they said it was racist. But I honestly think that we just have to get a control of who's here, find out who they are, what they are, and then
that's never gonna happen.
And try, if we can't ship them out, but try to get people who mean us harm out. But then the people who are here, we just have to find a way to assimilate.
Look,
we have to.
The people in Vietnam during the Vietnam War, they came over, we call them the boat people. I say we get a whole lot of our ships and boats and put their illegal alien butts in them and send them back. But I don't know, send them to Guantanamo Bay. I don't care. Send them there. But get them off of the mainland USA soil, because they are doing us no good. They are not. And in fact, I'm going to even say, I think they are revving up to do us much harm.
All right. So YouTube, don't ban us. That's Shelley. She's just a free speech person. But real quick, this is the month of love, and T, I want to kind of end on you. On you. 55% of the Chinese nationals are granted asylum upon entry into America. So, as a single lady with all these Chinese coming here, are you going to get you a Chinese husband?
Yes, they got cash.
I mean, they get free checks, and
they got cash.
They're permitted to work.
Because first of all, that it's black only. Because you want me to say it on air. I'm only doing black only. I don't do interracial, especially Chinese. You know what? Y'all know how I feel about the Asians, and you keep trying because you want me to say it.
Asian men
Hold on,
challenge
my
accepted.
question.
No, not
Challenge
Asian,
accepted.
Chinese.
You already know how I feel about Asians, and you want me to say it on air,
I
but
don't-
I'm not going to say it.
I don't know.
Because
No, he
you know what I said. But
All right.
no, so absolutely no Asians. I mean, I can find a black man that gets a real check.
Okay. Some real what?
Check.
Check. Real check.
A real check. Check
Okay,
in.
real check. Chicken
The
check?
nettle?
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Yen.
No yen.
No squirrel over here.
All right. All right, guys. How you guys?
And it's the Chinese New Year coming up. And
See, you gotta celebrate.
You're the dragon. I don't know.
All right, look.
Chinese man
I mean,
gonna
I
put
don't
that
even
thing
eat
on
Chinese
it.
food, so.
All right, guys, make sure you guys are hitting that like and subscribe button. These ladies are wild. And no, my name is not KJ. I am Giovanni. Just filling in for KJ. Again, she tried to parachute out of a plane and, she just landed in Mexico.
As long as she comes back
But-
legally.
But no, she heard that they were giving checks, so she landed in Mexico. So,
Legally.
she's trying to help us get new cameras for our studio. So that was one avenue we were looking for funding. So it is Black History Month. So how are you guys celebrating Black History Month?
I'm black.
I mean,
I don't celebrate Black History Month.
What?
Black history is American history. So.
Okay.
I'm black 365. I celebrate.
Black-
How are you celebrating Black History Month, Lana?
Gonna wear a dashiki.
And Neil like
No.
Pelosi?
I mean, I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do.
You're supposed to dig up all of the history of black
Right.
people, the black people who made peanut butter and
Right, exactly.
cords. and-
Half of it is
I
lies.
have to do it.
All right, so let's
Half
go.
of it is lies anyway.
There's a black person that really discovered America, but Christopher Columbus took it from him. There's
Was
a
he-
black person that's really the first Jew, but then somehow the
Well, I
Levites.
say, I'm Native American anyways. I was born here.
All right,
Black
so
folks
we got-
did so
all right.
much great, and they can't do nothing in Africa, but they did all this great here.
So we
Sorry.
all right, T, you want to read our super chatter?
What does that say? Where my glasses at? Thank you. Mark Slater. Love you all as always. Keep preaching the truth. Don't muzzle Shelly. Oh, trust me,
Oh,
Shelly
ain't
does
nobody
not have a
muzzling.
muzzle.
We're not able to.
That's not gonna happen.
That's,
Thank you,
that's
Mark.
not gonna happen. Absolutely. All right. So speaking
Mark,
of black,
where are you from? Where do you?
speaking of black people, let's go to clip 2. Charlie Kirk was talking about MLK. So let's go to clip 2 real quick.
Legislative priorities that needed to be done by the federal government to stop bitter segregation. I've always held that. But the Civil Rights Act went way further than that. And Christopher Caldwell's book talked about the American people thought they were getting minor legislative adjustments to say that segregation based on race is evil and wrong. In reality, what they got was the birthing of a permanent deep state of bureaucrats that were looking for racism where it didn't exist, eventually with affirmative action quotas and hiring practices, expanded beyond race into LGBTQ type issues. And so what the civil rights era really birthed was this idea that it's the federal government's job not just to say that discrimination is wrong, but to actively go against any sort of disparate outcome and try to even the score under the guise of equity. Those are two different things, Jason.
So Charlie Kirk was talking about, some of the things that have passed as a result of the Civil Rights Act and things that Martin Luther King, were advocating for. First, have we taken that, the idea of equity and equality as a result of the Civil Rights Act, have we taken that too far?
I think we have in many ways, and I want to say in a general sense, just like the Civil Rights Act and any other law, our Constitution is our foundation for the United States. Any law, as the government gets bigger, the people get smaller. So any law is right. What do we have in Congress and at every level of state government? Most of those people are lawyers, right? So any law is ripe for abuse, for expansion, and for overriding or undermining our rights, not just the Civil Rights Bill. I have a problem with people only only going after Charlie Kirk, right? I'm not saying that what he's saying is not true or there's not some historical facts there. But Chad O. Jackson, a black guy, I think they're going after Charlie Kirk because he's white. Because Chad O. Jackson has been having the same conversation.
Oh yeah, and it's been good.
So Crystal, is it wrong to go after, Charlie Kirk for bringing some of these things up?
So I actually appreciated him doing it because I have been listening to, before Chad O. Jackson, I've been listening to he is Blanchard, he is Blanchard, and he's a podcast. Y'all gotta go see him. But he has been talking about this for like years, and he was talking about, but he says it funny because he's a comedian. But he was like, black folks, when this was happening, MLK, like these white folks just wanted to be left alone. And black folks could have asked the government for anything. They could have said, we want jobs, we want anything. They said, we want to sit in the white man's restaurant. Like, why do we just feel the need to continuously have government just force us into their lives?
Actually, before then, they asked for the 40 acres and the mule. That's where the whole 40 acres and mule came from, because the Republicans, back in the 50s, 60s, whatever era that was, they said, black people, we know we messed up. What can we do? Republicans, after we were free, give us 40 acres and a mule. And that's where that comes from, because the black people wanted 40 acres and a mule.
Well, we didn't get it. So instead of getting 40 acres and a mule, we want to pay the white man. We want to sit on the white man's bus. We want to go to their restaurant. We want to eat their burger. Yeah. We want their pie.
I would have been fine with separate but equal.
Yes,
we could have kept it as that.
And that actually, what you're talking about, that actually affected black businesses. That's what I've read, that actually what happened is that when it became desegregated, black people went into all these white businesses to shop because it was considered prestigious to go there instead of a black business. And so that actually destroyed a lot of black businesses.
And they still have that mentality now. But the white man is golden. Everything that the white man does is perfect. Right. And this is why they think that they're oppressed, because the white man, white supremacy, is keeping everybody down.
Let me I guess jump in right there, because what's happened as a result of the civil rights movement is now a lot of other, let's say, minority groups or oppressed groups have taken this as an opportunity to use these pieces of legislation to get equal rights
the alphabet community.
Just any group. So it's essentially using the struggle of black people in America against the white man.
I was just talking to a white lady a few days ago, because she tried to identify a struggle with me. Oh, my parents, we grew up poor, we grew up this, and I have to stop it right there. You're not gonna trauma bond with me. I don't identify as a struggle. My life wasn't a struggle. So you're not gonna come to me and say, oh, I feel for you and I understand because I struggle too. This is what the Democrats have done. They've made it easy and they've made it okay to struggle and have and to be oppressed.
Be a victim. To
be a victim.
To feel like a victim.
Now, see again, I am not, whether you all like it or not, I am not ready to throw out Martin Luther King with the bathwater. I agree. There are some challenges, some hard parts, if you will. That's all a part of his life and his the era, right? I think I'm going to quote Delano Squires. Because he was on with Chad Jackson talking about this. And basically, I'm going to paraphrase him. Delano Squires said that we conservatives today, we are a little bit arrogant because we tend to think that we forget that at any various point in a man's life, sometimes his creeds don't line up with his actions. That's for any of us. We forget that. And yes, people will bring in the founders. Well, the founders had slavery. And even Delano said this. Well, when people say that, the conservatives like, oh no, you can't talk about the founders. Well, if we're talking about Martin Luther King, we have to acknowledge what the founders did as well. And we are all Republicans. We're all conservatives. We can still support American values in the Constitution. So this is what people forget. I'm not throwing out Martin Luther King with the bathwater. I will say, from a historical perspective, that era, I think, was good at the time.
So let me ask this before you
I
hold
don't
on,
know
before you go.
No.
Hold on.
For the consequences that came
Yeah.
about.
So let me say this, right? So I am a big fan of Mr. Manning Johnson, right? And I recommend anybody out there to read the book Color Communism and Common Sense. I've shared it with our group here, and I preach it to our team almost religiously. But so my question to you, and I'm gonna go to you with this, Yana, was Martin Luther King kind of like the leader that they needed to bring in some of these policies and positions to get essentially Black people, particularly, thinking a different way where they're less self-sufficient and need more from the government.
Yeah. Definitely. So what Shelley said something, but let's not throw him out with the bathwater. Well, that makes me think of the country where I'm from. And
What's that?
I was born in Russia. We had Lenin, who brought in Marxism into the country. Well, unfortunately, we can't throw him out either. Even though, and so, but how much?
Because Vladimir Putin still admires him. But go ahead. That's a different story.
That's like saying
No,
don't throw
Vladimir
Hitler
Putin
out.
actually
Can't throw Hitler out either.
Hold on, finish your point, Yana. Finish your point,
actually
Yana.
criticizing him a lot.
that's different.
But my point is, so yeah, Marxism brought certain things into Russia. For example, equal rights for men and women. That was so okay, but then how much negativity, how much negative things, how many terrible things it also brought. So with Martin Luther King, I'm convinced that he was being coached by Marxists. I am absolutely sure about it.
All right, so
Yeah,
Crystal, you have something to say.
Yeah, because I actually watched the Charlie Kirk interview, and we're not talking about a person who he was like, if what is reported was true, like Marxism was the least of what he did. Like they talked about how he was literally evil, which we know from Marxism, that's what comes about. They said that he would rape women, he would do drugs, and so yes, we throw the baby out with the bathwater when the baby is found to be.
He raped women.
Oh yes, he.
All right, so hold on.
Okay.
Before hold on.
They gave
Hey, Chadwick, can we
to rape
play clip number 3?
It was bad.
To reiterate one other part, Martin Luther King was a self-described minister. He participated, at the very least, in dozens of extramarital affairs on his wife. That is well documented. He definitely participated in orgies. And according to certain government documents, which again, they're FBI documents, so they might be real, they might not be, because we don't trust the FBI, that he very well might have encouraged and laughed while a woman was being raped in a hotel room in one of his very famous orgies. When a man of the cloth who says he's a man of God does that sort of pattern or behavior, I don't think he should have a higher approval rating than Jesus. So how do we explain that? We explain that we have built this mythology around MLK in the modern era. Now, some myths are important, Jason. I'm actually okay with certain myths. I'm okay with certain people of history being larger than life and something we aim towards and something that we want to lift up. But we must be very careful when we do that.
So, I mean, it's been a rough year for Martin Luther King. But what makes him different than Jamal Bryant?
Well, I don't know if anything makes. I don't know that.
I got it.
That question, but okay. But I will say this. Even to your point about him being evil, even Charlie Kirk, I watched that whole interview. Even he said he would not go as far as calling Martin Luther King evil, right? We can disagree with and I would disagree with that. And he even made the clarification there that some documents, maybe you might not take them for face value because they were FBI and all of the COINTELPRO that goes along with that. However, and I'm not poo-pooing or downplaying the possible menace in those personal arenas that Martin Luther King may have been. I am saying that for that era of time, and maybe he did not predict the outcomes in the latch-on groups to use that movement. I think for historical purposes, the civil rights movement, not necessarily the laws that came about, but the movement was necessary for America at that time. That's what I'm going to say.
All right, so why wasn't that movement necessary?
First of all, if we believe that our rights are endowed by God and he's a man of the cloth, then we don't need, first of all, I hate that word, like civil right. Like, what does that even mean? And it just, to me, meant that we are begging white folks, please accept us, please see us as human beings, please. And he is a man of the cloth. They actually talked about how back then the preachers could not stand him because of the movement that he was trying to get people to accept. And we're seeing it today. I mean, like, even with the LGBTQ, there's this lady, I was trying to find her name on my phone. Like, she's being sued by a gay couple because she's a Christian and she doesn't want to make their dress. Like, this is exactly what the civil rights kept doing. It's like forcing people who probably eventually would have ended up liking us or working with us. Eventually, it would have naturally happened because, I mean, we're cool, we're talented, we're smart. If we would have let it naturally happen, but when you beg the government to force something like civil rights, it's never gonna, and that's why we are in this mess that we're in. Okay.
So
hold on, go to T. Yeah.
I don't understand till today how he got the title reverend. Because he never preached gospel.
No, he didn't. No, he did not.
Always was about civil rights and segregation and all of this stuff. He never, like, the preachers that I know, that's why the preachers didn't like him back then, because he wasn't preaching.
They put him out.
They never said, preach, pastor. To Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King. He was one of those guys, and as a former church girl, I know the church like the back of my hand. He was one of those people, you call him Doc, and that's because he went to seminary school, and he never really got a PhD, period.
Yeah, I don't know if he actually believed in God.
No.
Honestly, I don't trust that he believed in God. I'm convinced that he was an actual Marxist. And so you can tell how other Marxists behave. So our leaders, Marxist leaders like Lenin, he had a STD at the end of his life, like that he was couldn't treat, and so they're known for their behavior. So, and in terms of what you were saying, Crystal, the whole forcing of the civil rights, I agree. So I do think that there should be equal opportunities.
Right. That's what I mean
So
about the movement.
right.
Separate but
So
equal.
there's well, I mean that, for example, with schools. So I think that people should be able to go to any school that is out there. However, when they were busing kids from one place to another and bringing them to a neighborhood that they didn't even live in, what is the point? Why create more animosity than there was
Well,
in
that's
the
what
first
the government
place?
does. The government, again, the bigger the government, the smaller the people. So, I mean, that's just an axiom that I borrowed from Dennis Prager. And we see that still playing out. I just think the civil rights era, Martin Luther King, I think it's a mixed bag. And at this point, I'm going to stand where I started. I'm not ready to just throw it all out. I think we can glean some things from it, positive and negative.
You
Yeah,
got churches not even
hold on.
having like weddings.
I'm just going to remind everybody to definitely go check out Color, Communism, and Common Sense. An excellent book. Read chapter 2, and it actually goes into a lot of how the communists used black leaders, particularly the church, because the church was the center of influence in the black community. So you get a little pastor, he get that little twang going up in his voice, and you got some black people following you. So and the communists realize that.
And this is something that we do, and well, not we, because I'm not a Christian. I don't say that I'm religious, but this is something that Christians do in the church. They try to revere this, put these pastors on a pedestal.
You got it.
Yo, Dr. Martin Luther King was having orgies, my dude.
You got it.
Like, they're men, they're people, so they're gonna have situations. They're gonna have situations where they're, and women were giving themselves. So he didn't have to rape nobody. They were giving themselves. Like,
And that happens every day now. I mean, but
period.
color, communism, Common Sense by Manning Johnson. You can actually download the PDF for free. Just Google search it, and you can see it on. It's usually on archive.org because they took the website down. But Color, Communism, Common Sense by Manning Johnson. So we're going to keep moving. We got a few super chatters. I know how to run the show.
Nobody saw that. See?
I know what I'm doing. Come on. All right, so we got a few super chatters. T.
No, this is. I'm gonna let Shelly handle that one.
Oh my gosh.
Did Shelly get married last weekend?
Shelly.
She glowing.
Jeff.
I know, Jeff. I know. Moving right along. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
That's a continuation of his proposal.
Uh-oh.
That's a.
All right.
You didn't marry me yet, so that's a continuation of your proposal.
Go ahead, T.
Okay, so Mark. Hey, Mark again. Hey. 1% control the world. 4% control the money. Us 5%. Who is us? 5% are trying to wake up the 90% from
New York City. I have been in North Carolina since 1999.
Oh, he was answering my question. I asked where he was from. Okay.
Once again, he loves us all.
99.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Jeff
Mark.
and Mark.
All right, who else we got?
one more, right?
No, we got a couple more.
Oh, we had Mark was twice.
Oh, okay.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So no Black History Month celebrations.
No.
Black 365.
No balloons. Hold on. Did you put up some lights at least?
No.
No.
I decorated for Valentine's Day because
I turn on my lights that still come on BG&E, thankfully, but
See, the blackest person we got on stage is Yana,
the black.
I know. Well,
and she's a person of color.
Black folks don't need nothing else to worship. We worship our blackness.
Catch me on Juneteenth. I might be at a cookout.
No Juneteenth, no Black
I
History.
mean, should I be calling and congratulating people with Black History Month?
How do you celebrate? Please,
How do you celebrate Black History Month? Leave it in the comments.
Please.
But make sure you hit that thumbs up and like and subscribe. Because I want to know how to celebrate Black History Month.
First,
No
I did
thanks.
see your comment.
But I want to recommend one more thing. Like, since I got the mic and I'm on here now.
Oh
and
my God.
See, the ladies don't listen to
15
me.
minutes of
I am the brains behind all of them.
It's actually,
He is not wrong.
I was going to say that's actually pretty
But they
good.
never say what I'm telling them to say. But so they
Because we don't agree with what you're saying.
Yeah,
and
y'all
he
do.
knows
Yeah,
that
y'all do.
you can only suggest to me what to say.
Yeah, I know. But actually, Shelly's the most obedient.
Yeah.
Nah, don't.
It's opposite day. It's opposite day. But hold on. I will say, you did not say to be aware and prepare when you was announcing that book.
No, I said be aware and prepare like 18 times already today.
You really did not.
I have said it. All right, so go back. Let's rewind. Let's rewind.
Ask the African.
All right, but one more thing I do want to remind for Black History Month. I actually want to point out this guy, Julius Rosenwald. He was a very, very influential man in the in Black education. Him and Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington had the idea to educate Black children all across the country, but it really focused on the East Coast. So they built about 5,000 schools for Black kids to get educated. So if we're celebrating Black History Month, I'm shouting out Julius Rosenwald. Definitely go look him up. A lot of Black kids got educated.
Javon mentioned that he was a Jewish
and he was a Jewish guy that
Black Israelite?
No, he was Jewish.
No, he was just a Jewish guy.
Jewish.
Yeah. So Julius Rosenwald. All right. So let's hop into this next part of the show. I'm sorry I'm hijacking everything, but let's go straight into this this Joy Reid thing. Go. What we got?
Lord. This idiot.
Over the weekend, President Biden said he's ready to take action if Congress is serious about solving the border issue.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. And Congress needs to get it done.
Starting another fucking war.
It's hard. It's hard.
You're cute and submissive.
It's hard. I am a man repellent. It's hard because all I do is go to gay events and drag shows and
anything to make a buck, save a buck. Anything to make a buck.
It's hard.
All right, so I guess I'm subbing in for everybody with dreads today, but I'm not Whoopi, I'm not KJ, but well, look, so Joy Reid was on the hot mic, was playing the clip from Joe Biden, and she, I guess, had one of those Freudian slips saying what she really meant on the hot mic talking about wars, but she went on The View to actually respond to what she said. So here's what she had to say on The View.
I am a person that I'm a study war no more kind of Christian. I'm a red letter Christian. I don't believe in war, whether it is the governor of Texas literally trying to start another civil war over an issue that his party could solve tomorrow. There's literally a bill that they just could pass, right, and do the border security issue. Or whether it's in the Middle East, I was deeply against the Iraq War. I'm an anti-war person. And so, you know, I don't want to say that there's any side that is specifically to blame here. But I think I think for most Americans, we're war weary. I think we're all weary of conflict, and we would like to see us progress economically, socially, try to bring this country back from the brink of racial hatred. Let's not do war at all.
Yeah, let's talk about the book.
So that's how she responded to the clip, the hot mic clip, saying that she's a Christian, one, and that she's anti-war, while she's supporting Joe Biden starting another war. Now, are the Democrats, are they starting to realize their hypocrisy, or like what's going on with Joy?
No, the Democrats never realize their hypocrisy. They get away with being able to lie and to keep up the facade without impunity, right? With impunity. Joy Reid is one of the key race baiters that she is sitting here castigating. Again, I'm going to say it again. She's fake and she's phony. She is a race baiter. She doesn't give a poot about whether or not the Republicans passed this bill or not, because actually this bill would not have stopped anything. It did not work. It was not going to work. Joy Reid wants Republicans to fail so that she can get on her blonde, like KJ said, Donald Trump head horse and claim, you know, that, see, I told you, these Republicans, all they want is war. She's not studying a damn thing. What you need to go study is the next hairstylist that you contract with and get your hair done.
No.
Man, it seems like the biggest. Joy Reid doesn't have much going for her right now, especially not the hair. But like, how do you interpret this response, Yana? Like,
oh, she's just lying. So
Yeah,
I mean,
just lied.
she's lying. She got caught, you know, saying something in support of war, and now she's like, I'm anti-war. And so I mean, it's something that
Really?
and she looks scary. She looks scary and angry. Like, I wouldn't want to meet this lady anywhere. Like, this is someone that, you know, I would feel kind of weary, you know, if I'm like in the store and somebody looks like that. Avoid. Do not try to bump into her. I feel like she will, she'll latch onto you. Like, she is scary.
I think KJ said she like a Snicker bar. Was that?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, like, man, Betty White. Oh, Betty White, yo.
So we got a lot of comments. Every time we say something about black women, we get a lot of comments that say, oh, this is black women, they're trying to destroy black women, and you're not. You all know that her hair is whack. I mean, I don't even talk about appearances. I talk about the mind. And she's dumb. Like, she is, the things that she says out of her mouth, she just contradicted herself. She contradicts herself, and she plays in your face like you don't get it. And that's what I'm actually insulted.
Yeah, and then,
you insult my intelligence.
Yeah, and the whole thing. So first of all, she lied. Like, I agree with Yana. Like, she had to find a way because she was off script. And then she says, "Oh, I'm a Christian woman and I study war no more." Like, it just. My thing is that her being a Christian and then with the same mouth talk about race issues and all. First of all, like, she is the main one. She's saying, oh, we don't want another race war. That's what she's trying to say. But no, she meant what she said, talking about this idiot starting another war. But her being a Christian, you shouldn't even be looking at race. But every single time you talk to her, it's all about race and equal economics. Girl, you went to Harvard. First of all, you went to Harvard, and she's the same one of those, like, black people that just try to say, oh, yeah, I had this kind of life. And no, you didn't. Like, you have the economic opportunity. You have all the things that you swear that white people are taking away, but you have it. And instead of her really being a Christian and showing us black ladies how to get it the way that she got it, she sit here and blame white people. And to me, that's the most disgusting kinds of Christian.
Yep. I have a test. I have a number one test for these race baiters and these races. That's really what they are. My number one test for these people like the Joy Reid types. bring your ass to the inner city.
Yes.
Park your house
Yes.
in the inner cities, these cities that you prop up, but you move out of and you go and live in your gated communities where most of the black people that you claim to support and you want to coddle, you don't have any doings with them. Come on, Joy. Come on, all you racists.
I don't blame her.
Let's see you stay. I'll give you 30 days and let's see what your mind how your mind changes.
The thing about it is nobody wants to be around N-words.
Ooh.
Nobody wants to live in the areas.
That's why they're phony.
I don't either, though.
No, I'm saying, but that's why they're phony.
No, but
they claim to love these people so much.
You're right.
But they're phony. That's what I mean.
Show them how to not be that way. And that's, to me, is the biggest thing with Christians and believers. Like, instead of you, like, taking these black people or these poor people or these inner city people and coddling them, show them that they can have a better life. Show them that the opportunities that this country gives them is endowed by God, and there is something bigger inside you and something better inside you that you could potentially be. That is the message of the gospel. That is the message that Christians should be going. Not, oh, sorry, the white man is taking all the opportunities from you. We live in Baltimore. I mean, we live in Baltimore, and we have some of the best schools. We have the best hospitals, and we have children that will
Colleges.
not even get a chance to go to those things because the people are coddling them instead of showing them how to have a better life.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I wouldn't say
best colleges to correct some of the best colleges.
Yes, that's what I mean. Some of the best universities.
Yeah, schools.
And some of the best private schools.
I'm going to repeat it again.
Private.
Leftism is a religion. Their God is leftism. That's their religion. They will trust or believe or worship leftism more than they do God. That is their religion. And until we understand that, I mean, really understand it, we don't get it. We don't get them. No, that's why they think.
They worship.
That's what their lead is.
They worship white.
So, Shelly, I want you to read that comment right there.
From Krista. Hi, Krista. I did see your comment, Krista. Honest question: what can we do to get the spew to have y'all bring on the honey, Shelly? Krista, I got a treat for you by the end of this month. Just stay tuned.
So y'all got to help us out. Make sure you tag The View, tag ABC The View, any clip that we publish, anything we put out. Make sure you tag. Follow the ladies on Instagram. Tag them in the comments. Tag The View in the comments. Just make sure we put them on notice, because I don't think they can handle any one of them.
No,
any one of them.
I'm not Oprah. I want Whoopi.
You want Whoopi?
I want.
You calling her out?
But yeah, I want Whoopi. Whoopi Goldberg. I got some stuff to say to her. I'm highly disappointed.
All right, who y'all think could take on who? I want to know that.
Whoopi.
Put that in the comments. Who would you like to see? Who? Shelly versus.
Shelly got Sunny.
Shelly versus Sunny. T versus Whoopi. Yana versus
Sarah or Alyssa.
Both of them.
Or Joy.
She don't care.
Joy. You know what? All these joys, and they are so depressing.
Miserable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joyless, right?
Yeah. So let us know in the comments who you want to see versus who. I think that
I can fight in real life, by the way.
no fighting. Yo, YouTube.
Oh, sorry. No fighting. I can fight with my words.
Well, you know what I say. You know what I say. You know what I say I am.
She gonna shoot.
Oh my Lord.
I mean, she's an advocate for the Second Amendment.
Defending herself. Defending her
herself in her house, yes.
Defending her rights. All right. All right, guys. We're going to take just a 2-second break because we got to switch up. So we actually have a special guest. That's why the ladies actually got dressed up. Can you go back to that wide shot? Go back to the wide shot real quick. So the ladies got dressed up tonight, showing everything because they got a guest.
Everything.
Got a guest. I don't know what I don't know why they don't do that regularly, but
She's a hater. I never knew.
But
for Valentine's.
But yeah, so we're gonna be back really, really quick. Don't go anywhere. We're just gonna take a break. So we're just gonna go quiet for a second. You actually might hear us just ruffling around.
Can we get a refill?
Yeah, get a refill.
The ladies are drinking their drink.
I did. Right. I drank mine. I'm drinking.
All right.
I promise.
And yeah, so let's switch it up just for real quick.
Delicious.
Share the podcast, everything. Share it. Let's go. All right, what's up, guys? We are back. All right, so we have a guest, special guest for the month of love.
Even though it's on green, like it's St. Patrick's Day.
He missed the memo.
Africa going on here.
We're just missing the black.
No.
Unless we're talking about skin.
No Africa.
All right, so let's get right into this. We have with us the intellectual sniper, Mr. JC. Right, that's what it says on his Facebook. So, first question, buddy, is what is an intellectual sniper?
It's just a name I came up with. Actually, my mentor came up with the sniper part. I just added the intellectual part, to kind of be different. So, it's just me.
Okay. Now, do you be hurting folks or something? Like, what's the deal?
I mean, I ain't gonna tell you. I ain't gonna snitch on myself.
Oh, all right. Well, all right. So the intellectual sniper. All right. So I'm gonna try. I'm going to get the ladies to put him to the test today. So he's allegedly one of these like manosphere guys. I don't know what that means. And it was an invite by T. So I'm just gonna spill all the beans. I'm behind the scenes. I don't care about how this stuff comes out, but. Here's the thing. Well, so you had a post on your Facebook, and it says unpopular. We know this week is the Super Bowl. We know what's going on. We're Ravens fans here for the most part, so we know this. We know this was the Taylor Swift Super Bowl. But the unpopular. The main difference between Taylor and Beyonce is Taylor fans still humanize her. She can afford to make mistakes, and Beyonce can't. She's worshipped at unhealthy levels. Now, Crystal, you are a Queen Bee fan.
I am. Y'all, I'm trying, okay? I love Beyonce. Praying for her that God saves her.
Isn't she a part of? She might be saved. How you know she's not?
Not with. Not with all that.
So let me ask you this. Okay. He says you worship Beyonce.
Well, no, we need clarification. Right. We need clarification of what does it mean. What did you mean by that?
Okay, so what I meant was that Taylor, right? Her fans, it's more like they can relate to her. She can be goofy at football games, and they can say, "Oh, she's just like me." Mm-hmm. When I think about a Beyonce fan, not everyone, right? Not the woman to my right, but when I think about the average Beyonce fan, in a lot of ways. They're looking up to her like a deity. So it's no longer relating to her. It's more like, I'm looking to you to guide my life.
No. I think in this, I hear what you're saying, but they're two totally different personalities. I mean, like Beyonce is a 41-year-old woman, so certain stuff she ain't doing that Taylor Swift is in different cultures as well. Like Taylor Swift, hats out to her. She can be goofy and but Beyonce is really shy. Like, so certain stuff she's just not gonna do. It doesn't have anything to do with people guiding her life. Although I think that, she's really, really dope. Just in her own right. Beyonce.
I think Crystal's response is a exemplar of what you're saying.
Ooh.
How Beyonce is right? I think her response is a perfect example. So my question is to you, to follow up on what your response was, JC, was who worships Beyonce? Give us some of the demographics, if you don't mind. Or what does that profile look like? Who are the people that worship Beyonce versus identifying with Taylor Swift?
That's a difficult question.
Gay guys.
No. Like as far as people, like general people, like okay, Crystal said gay guys. Are you talking about black women deifying Beyonce versus the average American from Middle America identifying with Taylor Swift?
I would say this. I would say that unfortunately, black women put the most pressure on her.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you could say her or that demographic.
So you're saying Beyonce is the victim in this case?
Yes and no.
Okay.
She's not a victim because she chose her life path, right? But in a way she is, because she's uplifted to a certain level where I feel like it's impossible to live up to that. And also to add to it, just to make more sense with it, I do feel like her life, right? No one should be under that much pressure. No one should be under that much.
She chose that life though.
No, she did. She did, absolutely.
First of all, we're talking about Beyonce. Like, this is the same chick that got cheated on. Like, how you cheat on Beyonce? Like, her life hasn't been.
No,
her life has not been perfect.
No, great point.
Her life has not been perfect, and so if anything, we relate to her in a different way of the black girl kind of struggle, just the same way that people relate to Taylor Swift, just a different personality.
I don't relate to either one, but go ahead, JC.
You made a great point, right? About the victim, possible victim, right? Check this out. Even in her own marriage, Jay-Z can cheat. Can Beyonce cheat?
Sure.
With Julian.
But no, publicly, if she did cheat.
Right.
Julian.
Some people just don't want. I mean, who's she gonna date? I mean, you and Jigga Man. Like, who is she gonna cheat on with? Barack Obama?
Julian.
Like, I mean, I don't know who else that she could go that would.
Her bodyguard.
He is the coolest dude in the world.
The point he's trying to make is that if she's just a human being, why can't she?
She probably could.
Deified.
Right.
She doesn't get that same quote unquote privilege
That's
that her
not
husband
true.
is afforded.
Okay, you guys are making
He's a man.
statements like that are not
We're
like.
making statements, but you
So
are
let,
Beyonce
let me ask this: what made you make that statement? Like, what was it that made you make that observation?
I mean, there was a recent post by Shannon Sharp where he compared the two. And a lot of people took offense to him downing Beyonce.
See?
Really?
Yeah.
So because people were downing Beyonce, you took that as saying like she doesn't have the opportunity to fail, or
She does, and in a lot of ways, she doesn't.
Well,
personally, I don't care either way. All right.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Let me shift the dynamic a little bit. What I took from that is that Taylor Swift is the frail and I'm gonna go there. She's the white girl who can't do no wrong. She's a damsel in distress. But Beyonce, because she's black, she can't do the things that white girls can do because she's a black woman. Says society.
See, that's
For example, Crystal, before you get loud, white women can wear tight fitted clothes. When black women do it, it's a problem.
She wears tight-fitted clothes. Beyonce, y'all are making like
Beyonce
statement.
does not wear regular clothes.
Exactly. And so,
in general.
So we are conservatives, you guys. So I'm going to pull our conservative card. We don't say things like, oh, white people can do it and black people can't. We don't say that, okay? Like, we don't say that. Beyonce is a grown 42-year-old woman. She wears what she wants. She acts the way that she wants. And Taylor Swift is a 30-something-year-old girl. They are
So she's not grown?
Yes, grown woman. But they are two different. They're in two different spaces, two different genres, two different lives.
Let me pull your card,
cultures.
Because when Ciara wore that see-through sheer crap that she wore,
Why?
I don't know why.
Why?
Because she was black.
Said that she looks slut. I'm just using it with slutty, and she's a mother. And she's married. But I remember we have a clip about that, and if I'm not mistaken, Tia and I were kind of on the same side. Like, well, her husband was right there with her. So what difference does it make?
I agree, but they reamed her specifically because they were wondering if her husband, who is very conservative, approved of it. That was the only reason, not because she's a black woman.
I think
like a black woman can wear anything that she daggone pleases, just like a white woman.
Not really.
So Janie said black Beyonce is sexy, Taylor is not. That's not true.
I mean, that's perspective, right?
That's an eye of the beholder. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
most of us will say
she's not
one
wrong.
way, but
But JC, not just from your post, but just in the larger context of Beyonce and Taylor Swift, what I was thinking is that it's not just them being two different genres or two different audiences for marketing purposes.
Right.
I think a step above that is that there is this, I don't know if you want to call it social media, they want to pit two successful women against each other.
Of course.
And that also drives the marketing and the ratings.
Right.
So
I'm not talking about their artistry or anything
Right.
like that.
so who's driving that? Like, who's pitting those two against each other?
I think social media is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the benefit?
They're the two top dogs. I mean, like, seriously, when it comes to music right now.
They're probably the two top,
catfight.
like she said, two top female artists right now. But I'm talking about from a social standpoint. There's just certain things that if Taylor did, people would see it as, like she said, innocent, girly. If Beyonce was in the same spot, she would be demonized.
So you say, is there a race component to this too?
There is, yes. Some people take it too far.
Okay.
But there is a race.
So let me ask this: are Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift the new Jay-Z and Beyonce?
I don't know.
What?
Predictions? You got to put it out. Come on, man. This like people don't watch for I don't know answers. People watch for you're gonna intellectually snipe them. So what
do I think? I mean, they're the it couple for right now, for sure. No, we'll see if they're together. They saying that he might propose to her at Super Bowl. And I don't know.
No, they're not even
Should we
married.
care? I mean, really, on a larger scheme, should we even care?
Why we care about Beyonce and Jay-Z? But
I mean,
since we do,
I don't either.
let's
actually see. You brought up a great point though. Should we care? The thing is, the way she's looked at, people look to her as a guide. How far do they do that? That should be scrutinized.
Okay.
All right, so let's go into this. So there's another post he posted about I guess 8 hours ago now. Stop dating, and this is for relationship month, and this is here we go, right? And hopefully this one's a nice setup. So stop dating nice men. You're going to cheat on them. Mm-hmm. And nice men are seasonal male besties at best.
Yeah.
Eggplant emoji missing like the remote in a house full of kids. So take us through that one.
Okay, so there's a difference between nice men and kind men.
And what men?
Period.
Kind men.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, you left me.
I'm trying to get the mic down. Okay, so nice men are trying to socially fit in. They're not being themselves. They're second guessing themselves. Kind men are doing what they want to do from the bottom of their heart. You don't have to worry about them being genuine.
So now, are you speaking to the women or the men with this post? And from my understanding, you speak mostly to men, right?
Both.
Okay, so who are you speaking to with something like this?
This post is for women.
Okay, so women.
Okay.
How do you feel about this post? Stop dating nice men. You're going to cheat on them.
Can I go first?
Nice men are seasonal male besties at best. Eggplant emoji missing like the remote in a house full of kids.
Okay.
All right, T, you wanted to start off.
Yeah, let me start that one because I got rid of a nice guy because I saw where I started to disrespect the nice guy. Because the nice guy is nice to everyone. He lets everyone run over him, and that's not for me. That type of man is not for me. I need you to yes. Be kind to people because you're a kind person, but nice, you're gonna get run over, and that means I'm gonna run over you. Okay. And I don't want that for me.
Yeah. So I prefer, I'm not trying to change your post, but I prefer, when I read that, I looked at it as what we call alpha and beta males. So in that sense, am I thinking on the right path?
You're on the right path.
Oh, yeah. So, and I do tend to agree. I mean, I don't know necessarily if someone's going to cheat on them automatically, but I can agree with T that there's going to be some disrespect built in. Absolutely. Because these types of men, as kind or as nice as they are, they exude a weakness to the woman. And the woman sees that, or she sees it, but from a woman's perspective, she feels insecure about it because she knows that he's not going to be able to protect her. Right. So it's almost instinctual. And it's not wrong. Right. It's just that these are not the type of men that make for good mates.
Some women like that, though. Okay. Some women are okay with that.
Well, I feel like I would have liked clarification, but since you did on this show, I would have liked clarification on the post because some men are very, very nice. Like I would even say my husband is very, very nice until you play about his wife and you play about his kids. And so I think that we as a culture, especially Black culture, have to shift the trajectory because we like the bad boys and we like the guys that, alpha male, blah, but that's actually weakness. We have learned, history has taught us that stoicism and control and self-control and being kind and being able to handle pressure is the strong one, where the dude that's walking around, like this, is actually the weakest person in the room.
Something to Crystal's historical point. I think what you're saying, Crystal, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I think we need to draw the line in this. Historically, instinctually, women do go for quote unquote the bad guys because the bad guys exude the strength and the protection. Now, I'm not talking about the druggies and the murderers. That's an extreme, if you will. I know it's common, but I'm saying from the historical perspective, if you put it in a time since time began, women need to know, women do test, quote unquote, they do test that man to see if he is going to be able to protect her. Hunters and gatherers, the men went out and did the kill. Yes, we do want the men to be, quote unquote, the bad guys. No, we don't want you as murderers and criminals, but we do want to know that you have the muscle, the physical muscle, the strength, and the wherewithal to protect us and our young. And I say, bring on the bad guys.
Yeah, and I think that that's stupid. And I feel like that's the silly women that we talk about all the time. We have seen what those type of men provide and protect. Oh yeah, you the tough guy. And then as soon as a baby hit the freaking wound, they out the door. Okay, I am telling you, y'all acting, don't act like you don't know.
Those are the men that you don't, that's not what, they're not saying.
Those are the tough guys.
We don't talk about the bad guys in the sense of the word bad. We're talking about bad guys who are protective, who are not afraid to be men, and we want them to be men. I want a man to pull up on his jockstrap and pick up his things sometimes.
That's foolish.
I want to know. I want him to touch his jewels.
No.
I do. That's what men do. That's what boys do from the time they start walking. They want to know what they got down there. I want to know they got something down there too, and not necessarily just flaunting it out on the streets or whatever, but I want to know that their testosterone is kicking in when it needs to.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this. Right, look. No. So, like, this is the one thing that I like. Like, this is my family right here. Like, this group is my family, and we have some knockdown, drag out fights.
We love each other.
We do. on a regular basis, and there's some times where the ladies test me, right? You know, they test. But there was a book. There was a book I read last year. Two books that were really pivotal last year for me was No More Christian Nice Guy and The Way of the Superior Man. So those two books right there actually exemplify what Shelley was just speaking about. And I will never give her a high five on this, but I'll tell her that, you know, she is right on this particular point. Right, there is that yin and the yang when it comes to relationships and balance, and women generally do have that test against men. But there has been this push where a lot of women do tend to kind of operate in more, you know, of a masculine energy, and we're at a point in our culture where men have been feminized that don't know how to, you know, kind of rein that in. Right, so I'm just this is us just talking off the cuff, but like, how do you know, you're gonna snipe them on this? Like, but how do people how do you get the culture to kind of get back into that dynamic? Because women are always going to be women, right? And they're gonna, you know, they're gonna do their thing, and they're gonna step up where they need to step up. But one of the things that I got from, again, The Way of the Superior Man is that they're doing that because they're looking for that counterbalance from the man to say, hey, this is what you got. Like, test us. How do you, you know, kind of say, how do we balance that?
I mean, I think it starts with the sexes have to respect each other, and they have to learn about each other. So men have to learn about women, and women have to learn about men.
Exactly.
Right now, what's going on is men are just talking amongst each other, but they're not learning about the needs of a woman, how to be there for her, how to be that balance, like you said, the masculine balance. So it starts with there.
Do they want to?
Who?
Do men want to learn about women? Because it's gotten out of hand. The men that go their own way, you know, these other types of groups of men that
MGTOW out here, MGTOW now.
MGTOW, you know, all of them. Do they want to learn about the women to get back to that balance?
I think real.
I was asking.
I think quote unquote real men. I'm saying real men. I'm just saying real men. I think they do, and I think
you're not a man though.
That's okay. I'm answering. I think real men. Again, I'm saying quote unquote. I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm just using that. Real men do want that, and I think this is where women, we have forgotten that men do love us. right? And we want and need them, right? And it's like whatever you said, the yin and the yang. We think that men a lot of times today are like Crystal describing. They're all out there. No, they're not. There are plenty of good men, and I think it's just the separation. Talk about the separation of the races. We have been separated, how you worked that out for so long that we don't know how to balance each other out.
Right on.
Can you answer the question?
You gotta ask the question again.
Because see, this is a perfect example of women not knowing their place.
Yeah.
I asked the man, do men really want to get back to that? Do men really want to understand women in order to create that balance?
I think they want to, but they don't know how to. They don't know who to trust to do that. And so when you don't have that knowledge base, you just named 2 great books, but a lot of young men don't know about those books.
Because they didn't have a father in their life.
Correct. They don't have an example to look at.
So let's go to this next point. So you asked, do men want that? Are men looking for that? So we have groups like the Passport Bros, right? So these people these men are literally going to other countries to look for more submissive women, if I may say. So how do you how do you respond to that? Is it American culture that's
a controversial take on the?
Here we go, man. This is why we're here. This is why we have viewership.
So, anyone who wants to travel, I've traveled the world, so I support that. If you want experiences, great. The problem is you can't live in fear of women. I think no matter what, a woman's gonna be a woman, no matter where she is. It's just different circumstances, different life experiences that determine her outlook, right? Her mental outlook. So no matter where you go in the world, the woman's gonna be the woman.
Yeah.
You can't escape that.
That's not true. Like that's not true at all.
Here we go.
Because women are not women anymore. Like, I mean, especially culturally, American women, Western women are, oh my God, like they got problems. The promiscuity is really big, and they want to be men. We have a culture of where we don't respect men, and so you do have men that are saying, you know what, I am not going to waste my time, because like it or not, like the only people that's doing this is in Europe. The only women that's doing what we're doing is like in Europe. You go some other places, some women still want to rear children. Some women still want to be wives. Some women still want to take care of their family. And unfortunately, we have gone far astray from that here.
But does it mean they don't want to be women, or it's just a circumstance?
They are not women.
So what are they?
They are not.
What are they, in your opinion?
Animals. Like, seriously, animal. And I say that like ferociously. They have become so disgusting and instinctual, and I just want to sleep with this. And it's really bad that we are in a society that perpetuates it. I wish we had a society that when a person like Sexy Red becomes acceptable in our culture, we have gone so far astray. A person like Sexy Red should be ostracized and given a place to cool down and calm down. But we have normalized that here in this country. So no, we have not gotten, those women are not women. No, they're not. No,
yeah, I think
sorry. No.
The Sexy Ray types, well, at least I'll say for myself, the Sexy Ray types are not what Sexy
Red. Booty
Sexy
hole.
Red type. Right, all right.
What's the name of that song she came out with?
Pound
Town.
Pound Town.
And what did you think that song was about?
Oh.
Shelly, say it. You gotta say it. You have to actually say it now.
I said it before. I'll say it again. When I first heard that song, I thought it was about making pound cake. I did. But
well, I mean, kinda.
She old.
I agree with you that these people are ratchet, or whatever the word is you use.
Animals.
But I also will say that these people are not the role models. They are only uplifted and elevated in certain segments of a culture, even in Black culture. So they're not the ones, and it's incumbent upon us, yes, to, if you will, whatever, shut them down, so to speak, and say no. But this is the problem. We allow them to go haywire on social media, and then we have our segment, our subculture, and that becomes, quote unquote, the norm, when it really is not. It really is not. So it's incumbent upon us to, if you will, flip the script.
Go ahead, T.
Getting back to the Passport Bros conversation, I think that women in America, Western women, really do want to be submissive. They want to be in that role, but they don't feel like they have the men to take their place as leaders to do that. And granted, you know, we have all these buzzwords now, you know, beta, alpha, simp, you know, all these things that people are trending words that people are saying now, and even submissive. Because I don't think that women really know how to be submissive. They don't know the definition of how that actually works and how it looks in real life. But we want to be able to let the man take the lead role, but nobody's stepping up. We have so many men that are raised by their mothers, and they haven't proven that they can take that position. So the women, like as Giovanni said, they have to step up in that role.
Yeah, but go ahead.
The women, so the men think that they have to go to these other countries to get these women, when you actually have these women in America that you can shape and mold. As long as you, so this was a video of the actual men, passport bros in Colombia, and you know, I got an inside view of them, and it's real. Right. The passport thing, bros thing is real. But
did any of them holler at you?
Oh yeah, of course they tried.
I mean,
that's a given.
This is a yes or no question. This ain't no psst.
Well, I wasn't in the position for them to holler at me.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right. Okay.
However, I have no problems. Okay. I have no problems with men. But women need to understand that there's a way that you can reverse the cycle. There's a way that you can shut down and put yourself down. Like, women don't want to do it. They don't want to make meals. They don't want to fix plates. They don't want to do anything. You can't have a dude paying all of your bills and you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
You got to know how to give and reciprocate.
Can I say something to that, T? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to quote again another person that I admire, listen to, Dr. Laura.
Giovanni Patterson.
Dr. Laura, she tells women when they call in about, you know, they don't want to have sex with their husbands who are, like you said, taking care of them. Many of them are stay-at-home wives. She says, why would you deny yourself a good orgasm? That's your right of your femininity to enjoy that as well. And your husband wants you to enjoy it. A real man wants his woman, his wife, to enjoy the orgasm that he causes her to have. Bring on the orgasms.
Yeah, but you can't have an orgasm when you are listening. And I disagree with you that
this
it's
is a
not
family show, guys.
That is not mainstream. Right now, Pound Town has 29 million views on her song. So yes, it is mainstream and it is acceptable in our culture. And so unless we tackle the fact that, yeah, you can't have sex with your husband after you done slept with so many different men, Tyrone, Jack, and Jacob done flipped you up sideways, and then you try to get with a godly man, and the godly man is like, I don't want that. Then you have those people that are at home that you don't want to sleep with your husband.
Based on your logic, then these women will never, I'm going to say, repent, recover. They will never get a husband in. If that's what you're saying.
So
I'm telling you that a lot of them are not married.
I want to get the sniper in here.
Okay.
Let's see.
So I think that women have to learn how to receive correction, and the men have to learn how to give it. When I see a woman like Sexy Red, I can look in her eyes. She wants correction. She don't know how to receive it. That's the difference.
So what do you say to the 29 million people that said, I want to watch this video? And what do you say to, let's say, the 45% of those that are teenage girls that are watching this video and saying, I want to be like that?
I mean, that's their parents. Definitely, you know, parenting matters.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I get that.
So the thing is this, she brought up 29 million people watched the video. A lot of people, right? Men like me don't want to marry someone like Sexy Red. I have no desire for her. I see no future with someone like that. I'm speaking from men like me, right?
So what Crystal though is saying, if I may side with her for a second, like these are the women that aren't that come up with this kind of mindset. They don't want to get married. They don't want to, be in a relationship. Seeing an image like that. So how do men put themselves
why are they
position?
being uplifted?
They do.
Why are they being, I say this on Facebook too, you probably seen it. I focus on women I like. I don't focus on women I don't like or don't want. And I preach that to men that I do consultations with, etc. I don't focus, if you don't see the woman as a candidate, why are you paying attention to her?
And these women, let me tell you something. Everybody wants to be desirable and accepted. The fact of the matter is the Sexy Reds and the women that are following her, they do want to be married, but they want to shove what they have down the throats of every single man and say, here, like it. And unfortunately, it's not just parenting that raises a child. It is society and culture. And this is the disgusting culture that we have surrounded our kids with. So even if you as a parent are trying to do the right thing, then these types of things are just thrown in their faces.
Now, Crystal, let's take this back a few episodes when Shelly and I were debating with you.
Oh, yeah.
Saying that you said parenting matters. And I was saying, no, society, you can prepare all you want to, but society's going to get them. But you debated with us tooth and nail, like, no, what I say matters.
Oh, it matters. It matters what I say.
As loud as you are right now.
Let me tell you something. It matters what I say. So I stand by that.
But we also said, but society is going to get to them. And you just said the same thing.
I know. Culture and society does surround your children, and you're trying to protect them as much as you can. But this is the type of stuff that we should not accept in our society at all. Now, I'm not worried about my kids. Like, I'm not worried about my kids. However, I am worried about the future that we are leaving. These same children that are being raised by the Sexy Reds are going to be potential spouses, potential husbands, potential co-workers, potential life partners, and it's not cool, y'all.
But
it's not cool.
It brings into question, though, is Sexy Red raising your kids or you?
Exactly. That's what I said.
But some don't have parents.
Right.
Some don't have parents.
So I do want to, I guess, make the point here, because we see this politically, we see this in, just culturally mainstream. There are the fringes that really get elevated, right? I mean, I say this all the time. Our Congress members, our politicians, right? They get on the mics, they say the things that they want to say to divide the American people, then go get on the yacht and party it up together, right? But even with entertainment, like, we get these fringes that are the promotion, right? Hardworking everyday Americans ain't on TV.
Thank you.
Correct.
Right? People who are promoting family values, like since they got rid of Cosby's show and Bernie Mac, these were pretty wholesome shows that you couldn't find on TV today, right? So since they got rid of those type of things, right, we're not seeing those examples, being exuded in culture. We're really just seeing the fringes, because that's what drives clicks, that goes to ad revenue. Even the provocative titles we use and thumbnails, like, that's what helps get clicks on YouTube and everything like that. So we have to be careful that we're not making decisions based on the fringes, despite it getting the number of views that it gets, despite it getting all the attention it gets. There's still like a really large swath of people who are decent, respectful people. So I had this last question, right? Now, according to your audience and what I want you to kind of give your information here in a second. But are real men Biden supporters?
Let's go.
No.
No,
I'm not.
Is your name JC?
I'm sorry, I spoke out loud. Sorry.
In my opinion, no. No.
Why not? Why?
Why?
I don't think he knows he's president, number one.
Okay.
Right? So how can your leader not know his position? But you're trying to say, oh, he's great for the world, he's great for, I guess, politics, things like that. So no, I mean, I don't.
And is Trump a real man?
Here's the thing. I gotta say this. No, Trump's a masculine man.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
For sure. Trump is a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a legacy that's extremely respectful.
Exactly.
Right? So I think any young man can look at that and say, wow, that's something to look up to.
Exactly. For sure.
You just brought up that phrase, real man. I talk about that a lot.
Okay. Tell us about it.
What is a real man?
The thing is, I don't know what a real man is. To me, that's just a societal phrase, right? I think a lot of times we use it to demonize men, to put men down, right? It's like, oh, he's not a real man because of X, Y, and Z. In my book, When Men Were Men, I talk about there's no such thing as a good man. That's another phrase, because you're going to always move the goalposts on what a good man is, right? So I always tell men, be honest, be solid, be decent, because at the end of the day, that's all you can really be.
And at the end of the day, that's all women want.
Isn't that a real man? You just defined a real man, though.
Yeah.
Solid.
Once again,
So,
yeah, stoic, absolutely.
all right. So tell us about you. Like, how can people find you? Like, you know, and tell us more about what you do, and your book and everything like that.
So, number one, I'm an author. So,
you talking to the camera right here? Yeah, the one that's pointing at you right there.
Oh, okay.
okay,
Yeah.
excellent. Number one, I'm an author, best-selling author. I've written 3 books. I've co-authored on 1 book. So 4 books in total. I'm writing my 4th book now, The Power of Self. Of course, the book I just mentioned, When Men Were Men, is my 2nd book. You can find me mainly on Facebook, Intellectual Sniper, JC Author. So that's where they can find me.
Right on. So did he snipe you guys today? Like, I hope you are able to recover from the snipe wounds.
Thank you.
All right. Last thoughts, ladies. It's the beginning of Black History Month. It's Love Month. What are your thoughts, Shelly, entering into the month?
The same as they were last month in December and going back to last year. Number one, I'll start off, I'll say I'm thankful every morning. I say a prayer of gratitude, thankful to be alive. And then somewhere down the line, I'm going to plan in my calendar of how I'm going to go and practice some targets.
All right.
T, that's me. So I love love. Valentine's Day is actually, I put that over Christmas in my book. After my birthday, it's my favorite holiday. Hi, Anna.
All right. I'm sorry.
So, you know, they say love is love, but in this case, we really should love each other. And that means that the Democrats need to understand what real love is. And they need to understand that the alphabet community is an abomination against Christ, and I'm not even Christian. And they need to understand that it's all man, woman that procreates and children and marry. Like, we need to get focused. We need to band together against the ops to make sure that wait, don't rush me. To make sure that we to make sure that we keep society going. Okay. And to be honest, they're not even a threat. We make them more of a threat, or they make themselves more of a threat, because only 3-4% that's the alphabet community. Let's keep it going. Keep it moving. They're not a threat.
Right on. What you got, man?
Mr. Kemper.
Hey, just be your best self. Definitely as you continue your life path. Always believe in yourself. Always know that you can accomplish your goals. We learned tonight that MLK is a freak.
We did learn that.
He's a freak in the sheet.
He had a dream.
He had a dream about orgies. But I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Great.
Well, since it's American History Month, want to give a shout out to the family of Toby Keith. Red, white, and blue, flying high on the farm. Simple fly tattoo on his left arm. Spend a little more in the store for the tag in the back that says USA. He won't buy nothing that he can't fix. With WD-40 and a Craftsman, he ain't prejudiced. He's just made in America. Amen. That is my favorite Toby Keith song.
Oh, R.I.P.
Shout out to their family, and God bless America.
God bless America.
All right. It's been great hosting the show tonight.
You did a good job, Giovanni. Good job, Giovanni.
We miss you, KJ.
I go to grow my hair a little bit, you know.
Get some locks.
But I'm actually give Yana the last word. But I'm one of those stoic people. I don't know if y'all know this.
The real men.
Yeah,
Logic and reason, right?
Yeah, I'm one of those stoic people. And I was actually thinking this morning. What was I thinking on? No. So I was thinking this morning, right? We have access to like all the information that we need in the world, right? We have access to the greatest scientific inventions and greatest scientific creations that exist. And we have access to the deepest and darkest thoughts of the human imagination right at our fingertips, right? But it's not until we turn all that off and be silent, be still, that where we actually get to know everything that we need to know. You know, I'm thankful and grateful every day. Again, thank you guys for letting me, you know, host the show. Get well, KJ. You know, please don't do the submarine ships anymore. You know, just submersibles. They don't, you know, they don't function correctly. But yeah, just get well. But I'm gonna go ahead and switch out with Yana. You guys can close out the show, but I want Yana to go ahead and get the last word. So here she go.
Hey, Yana, welcome back.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
That was an awesome conversation. I enjoyed that. Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely.
Well, my last word about when Giovanni asked about Black History Month and love, I mean, why do we worry about race? We should not worry about race. It's very contradictory when we hear from the left, okay, it's love is love, but then let's separate each other by all these different colors and whatever creeds. I mean, that's ridiculous. So I think to focus on love is absolutely forget about Black History Month. I'm sorry, but forget about it. We're all people. And I mean,
Look, we
well,
got your
I
back.
came here with a dream
Exactly.
of equality, and that's what I thought this country was about.
Exactly.
So, and I will stand by that.
And we'll stand right here with you.
Yep, and ladies, have your orgasms.
Thanks for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week. Don't forget to go to Pop and Politics Live. You can go find us on YouTube under popandpoliticslive.com, or that's the website, I should say. But please subscribe. We need your support. We love your support. Thank you to all of our subscribers, and we will see you next week. Bye, everybody.